as the planet's urban landscapes grow by the day. Its most important wild spaces are shrinking. In the Amazon, small patches of green, protected by local tribes, are all that remain of a once great forest.
Jacket! Oh no! Too late! The spores have infested the entire tree!
This forest is doomed. We must burn it down. If we hesitate, the toxic jungle will engulf the entire valley.
Nausicaa and the Valley of the Wind is often called Miyazaki's magnum opus. And its main theme is one of environmental awareness.
It's so beautiful. It's hard to believe these spores could kill me. 5 minutes without a mask and I'd be dead.
It's about saving the remnants of the world that still exists after the human downfall. It's almost like a fairy tale, where the human world has become the home of insect-like aliens. But if Nausicaa is the fairy tale, then Princess Mononoke is the grim reality. Princess Mononoke's message is, despite its release in 1997, surprisingly still relevant today.
Princess Mononoke.
Its themes still tell wise directions for our society to avoid a fate reminiscent of that of Nausicaa's. And when looking deeper, Princess Mononoke presents not one, but two major themes that give solutions to our current world issues. And when we bring these themes of the surface, they answer the question why Princess Mononoke's message is surprisingly relevant today. Princess Mononoke's themes and message is the reason for its relevancy today. Themes like violence breeds violence, purity of wildlife without humanity's urban footprint, contribute to the big idea that opposing the natural world is our final doom. The director of Studio Ghibli's Princess Mononoke, Hideo Miyazaki, has fused these messages about violence and nature beneath the surface of the main story. To fully understand Princess Mononoke's underlying message and ideals of a healthy society, we must first cover the main story and our protagonist, Ashitaka. Princess Mononoke follows the life of Ashitaka, who is a young prince from a rural village on the countryside. He is forced to leave his home when he receives a curse from a stray corrupted boar. This curse acts as a double-edged sword, giving him insane power, but will also kill him if he doesn't suppress the curse's hatred. And when Ashitaka leaves his home, he sees the real cruel world, a world of hatred and violence.
A massacre.
And he finds himself in the middle of the conflict between humans and nature. The humans in the city of Irontown has forgotten about the rhythm of nature, which has led to the destruction of the surrounding forests. And the main conflict of this movie is set around this war between two forces. The leader of Irontown, Lady Eboshi, and the leader of the wild beasts, San. This adventure plot is the main story of Princess Mononoke, and it is set in the jagged period of Japanese history, where the country developed from a purely farm-based nation to an industrial society, and where the old culture clashed with the new ideas of the Industrial Revolution. The clash between different lifestyles has a big focus on environmentalism and the consequences of our way of living. This essence of the importance of nature brings us to the first message of Princess Mononoke, the nature line. The environmentalist message in Princess Mononoke is one of the most apparent reasons for the movie's relevancy. The film portrays human development with both perspectives. It's healthy and destructive. It gives, in one way, shelter for the working class, but at the cost of biodiversity, which together sums up the positive and negative effects of an unsustainable society.
Every night they're out there planting trees, trying to turn the mountain into a forest again.
Princess Mononoke's nature theme revolves around purity of wildlife without humanity's urban footprint.
You would do that? Kill the very heart of the forest?
When the forest has been cleared and the wolves wiped out, this desolate place will be the richest land in the world.
But also presents a few solutions on how to improve the relation between humans and nature.
One inspirational source behind Miyazaki's ideas in Princess Mononoke can be found in an indigenous religion in Japan known as Shintoism. According to Michael Dwyer, Miyazaki himself is a big believer in Shintoism, and this can be seen throughout his film filmography. Movies like Spirited Away and The Wind Rises borrows heavily on Shintoist myths and pacifist ethics, but none more so than Princess Mononoke. You see the existence of almost godlike boars, spiritual beasts, and a lot of emphasis on harmony and balance. Even Ashitaka's quest for purification mimicked the Shintoist mindset of purity.
It's your fate to go there and see what you can see with eyes unclouded by hate. You may find a way to lift the curse, you understand?
Yes.
The core idea of Shintoism is built upon respect of nature, according to an article called Shinto by Mark Cartwright. Shinto believes in spiritual energies found in animals, places known as kami. Kami are said to inhabit places of purity and natural beauty, and in this case, of Princess Mononoke, they are depicted as kodama. The kodama represents individual tree spirits that signifies a healthy forest. Shintoism sees nature as one living organism, where the goal is to be in touch with kami and live in harmony with nature. Anything that will disturb kami spirits, human greed and destructive technology are seen as a distraction to this harmony and must be avoided to remain pure. In Princess Mononoke, Sana and Ashitaka are one of the few that are still in touch with kami and the rhythm of nature, and are trying to stop the corrupted humans from restoring the natural order. In the end, Lady Eboshi succeeds in killing the forest spirit, the physical representation of nature, destroying the natural order, which kills any remaining nature and drives off the kodama and enrages the forest spirits. In short summary, according to Michael Dwyer, Shintoism tries to tell us that humans and our technology are not above nature, we are very much in nature. We must learn to live in nature or learn to face the consequences of our actions.
Shintoism largely died out in the post-World War II era. After the war, the Japanese thought that their greed for power and lust for territory led to their defeats. And we see this kind of downfall happening in the second half of Princess Mononoke. Lady Eboshi is losing touch with nature and is frantically trying to save her civilization by conquering more and more land. But similarly, our world has gone beyond just local skirmishes and is destroying our environment on a global scale. UN FAO estimates that 10 million hectares of forests were cut down each year in the decade of 2010. This, coupled with lake poisonings, desertification, biodiversity loss, destruction of natural habitats, trafficking of protected species, and introducing invasive species, there's no wonder why the UN Global Goal number 15 is labeled the key of our survival. Even though this movie is fiction, it depicts a simple picture of our current unhealthy society. A society that is built upon resources from unsustainable sources. And in our world, this could be compared to the energy sector, or the food industry, or the meat industry. All this leads to a big destruction of natural grounds, either to make room or to gather the raw resources needed. But throughout Princess Mononoke, nature literally fights back human development, symbolizing the brutal forces of nature that is to come if we don't act. The Shintoist thoughts of what a pure society should look like has respect to nature as its main key. This means that only taking what we need and making sure that both sides prosper is the solution to humanity's biggest threats. In the end, Ashitaka and San are seen retrieving the forest spirit's head, restoring the balance and bringing back nature to the destroyed grounds, growing to once again be a thriving forest. Princess Mononoke is telling us that it's not too late to act for a better future. And this is ultimately how Princess Mononoke's nature theme still resonates to this day.
I'm gonna fucking kill myself in this. It's enough to kill myself.
Actually, just enough to kill myself in micken.
Yeah.
Det där är nice. Det där är nice. First day on the job.